Oh my god, y'all. Now that I'm off my meds and unleashed and everything, all those fun words meaning that I just do what I want, it's time to talk about some shit. It's time to talk about specifically how I got into Critical Role. So back in 2015, I had become vaguely aware of Critical Role, and it was all thanks to Matt Mercer, who had actually been someone that I'd known about for a very long time, and I actually first knew about Matt from before his main voiceover career, back when he did a little legendary web series known as There Will Be Brawl.
What I failed to do in thousands of years, these little dickless maggots accomplished in 2 elections. Do not doubt my intent, friend. Your kingdom will know its new ruler. And if it doesn't, it will burn.
There Will Be Brawl, by the way, was basically a really sort of cool, gritty noir take on the Super Smash Bros. Subspace Emissary formula, because Brawl had come out around the same time. Funny enough, I was a member of the There Will Be Brawl message boards. Remember message boards? I'm sure some of you out there will say, what the fuck is a message board? And I'll explode into dust. I actually met Matt in person back in 2015 at Anime Expo when he came to participate in the Kill la Kill event that was happening at the time. And at the time, I was way more concerned with asking him if Ashley Birch was the new English voice of Risa Kujikawa in Persona 4 Dancing All Night, because I had no idea how anything related to voiceover worked. I had actually tried to get into Critical Role a few times around that time because Matt always talked about it on Thursday nights, and whenever I looked on Twitter on Thursdays, I saw that happening, and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of my favorite people in one production. Probably somewhere around the end of 2015, I actually did start getting into Critical Role, and I dove headfirst into it, because by the time of around the 17th of March 2016, I'd caught up with the campaign and watched my first live episode, which was episode 45 of Campaign 1. And if you know anything about Campaign 1 in that episode, you know that was a hell of a point to jump into the game live. Oh my god, Percy, please check for traps next time.
I'm unconscious.
Does that bring you below 0?
Yeah.
I mentioned a little bit earlier that there was another reason why I started watching Critical Role. That all my favorite people were at the same table. Why the hell did I say that? I mean, voice actors are cool, but why this group specifically? Well, it's because I have a personal connection to each one of these voice actors. A persona. Oh. Connection. It's Persona. It's because a lot of them were in Persona. Just in case you don't know what's going on, the Persona series is basically a JRPG series that spun off from the Shin Megami Tensei series by Atlas. They're basically a series of JRPGs where you play as a high school age protagonist, do a bunch of stuff in school, do a bunch of stuff after school, live your life, be a teenager, and then occasionally fight off supernatural demon-like creatures called shadows with the power of your physical manifestation of your psyche known as Persona. It's a grand old time. And seriously, the game series is now available on pretty much any console. You owe it to yourself to check out the games that are available on the console of your choice. Anyway, for the longest time, I was a bit of a weird contrarian kid who had a bad habit of just hating on stuff that one of my best friends at the time would like, and just be like, oh no, it's something that this friend likes. I don't want to fucking get into it. I was a dumb boy back then. I've gotten over that largely, thankfully. And one day I was hanging out with him and we were playing. We were playing Persona 4 Arena. Yeah, we were playing Persona 4 Arena, and I fell in love with the characters. And I started, looking a bit more into the Persona series that I had kind of been against, because I knew he'd been a fan of Persona since at least Persona 3, probably earlier. He was more of a PlayStation guy. But anyway, by the autumn of 2013, I had already purchased a PlayStation Vita and Persona 4 Golden, the re-release on Vita, and had immersed myself into the legend that is the story of the investigation team and their fight to reach out to the truth in the town of Inaba. I may also have simped hard for the best Velvet Room attendant, but that's not neither here nor there. Shut up. It's around that same time that I started to learn more of how voiceover worked in the games and anime industry, and that's when I realized that Matt Mercer, that cool guy that I liked from that one show where Luigi fucks, now does voiceover and voiced a character in this game. At the same time, I started learning more and more about the voices of other characters in the series, and slowly realized that a good chunk of the people on that D&D show that Matt Mercer keeps advertising on Thursday, give me your heart! We're going to go ahead and start off with the DM himself, and apart from one other person on this list, and we'll get to them, he's the cast member that I've actually known the longest. Going back to that one web series where Gohan plays Wario. Matt actually didn't start off as the voice of a character. He actually took over for a different voice actor, as he took over in the role of Kanji Tatsumi from the incomparable Troy Baker, who voiced Kanji in the original Persona 4, Persona 4 Arena, and Persona 4 Golden, along with the first half of Persona 4 the animation, before he ended up getting a little too busy working on some indie-rific game about, like, mushrooms and fatherhood. I mean, you probably never heard of it. Now, Kanji Tatsumi is basically your average school menace kind of guy. He's the guy who there are rumors about where he kicked a bunch of ass and is kind of a badass, and everyone kind of fears him but also wants to kick his ass. And turns out he's actually kind of a nice guy who maybe doesn't know how to express himself all that well. He's also got some deep-seated issues in regards to certain aspects of his character, which I won't spoil. Matt brings a beautiful energy to this tough but soft boy who just wants you to stop making noise so his grandma can sleep, damn it!
Whoa! What is this place? It's kinda cute.
Where are my guards? Kill them all!
The children who adored you as father. The prospects of your pupils. How many did you trample upon? How many dreams did you exchange for riches? No matter what it takes, I will bring you to justice!
However, he's not the only character that Matt's played. In fact, this time, Matt started out as a party member, as he voices Yusuke Kitagawa, alias Fox, from Persona 5, and its various sequels and spin-offs and adaptations and dancing games. I mean, Matt has range to go from street punk, street tough to elegant artist obsessed with beauty who seriously needs to learn how to budget properly. Yusuke, please, you can't drink salt water for the third week in a row just because you want to get that paintbrush set.
I found these beautiful specimens on sale, and so I decided to spend the last of my money on them.
Learn to budget, my man. Now, Liam O'Brien, he's an old school voice actor and director. He's done it all in the industry, really. I think the first thing that I ever really knew him for was the voice of Archer in the original Studio Dean Fate Stay Night anime. A role which has an interesting connection to another person that we'll talk about in a little bit later. But we're not here to talk about Fate, although I could talk about Fate all day. We're here to talk about Persona, and we're here to talk about Akihiko Sanada, a crucial member of SEES in Persona 3. Akihiko's kind of just... well, he's a boxer. He is the guy who's in the boxing club. He also really likes fighting personas, not necessarily for good reasons. I mean, he says outwardly that he just wants to get stronger, but the reasons why he gets stronger are very integral to his character arc.
My desire to grow stronger is because I wanted the power to protect someone. So I'm sure that my desire for strength will carry on past our battle as well.
Atlas ends up kinda Luigi-fying or flanderizing him a little bit to make it seem like he loves protein and nothing else, but honestly that's just memes. He does have some levels of character development, especially in Persona 4 Arena, and Liam is there for the entire ride. He honestly does Bad Boy Boxer really well.
You can't throw punches like that without a shitload of training. I can feel your determination behind every one.
Yeah, the same's true for you. Good work.
Also, he apparently voices Yukari Takaba's dad, so that's interesting. I honestly kind of forgot that she had a dad. even though it's central to her arc. I'm sorry, Yukari. Honestly, you get a lot of flack. I do like you. Oh, Laura. What can I say? It's Laura Bailey. She voiced Rakshata Chalwa.
What a perfect position!
She also played the second female protagonist in Persona history, and the first one to be the active choice of the player. That's right, she plays Kotone Shiomi. Compared to her more stoic and uncaring male protagonist counterpart, she's much more chipper and sweet, and this can be seen in her character choices and the way that she summons her personas in battle. Unfortunately, Kotone hasn't had too many voiced appearances in English. In fact, she has only had one voiced appearance in English, as Persona Q2 forgoes English voiceover entirely, so this is the only time you get to see Laura Bailey voice this character.
Thou art I, and I am thou. You, me, even Rosette. They were all born from me. All of them are me.
But don't worry, Laura has another job in the series, as she voices the iconic Rosette herself, Rise Fujikawa from Persona 4. She's the party's navigator, able to help the investigation team with finding weaknesses and potentially buffing the party. She also has a very poignant story arc about her being, she's basically a teen idol, you know, idol culture in Japan, and she wishes to quit being an idol and go back to her hometown because she's just kind of done with the pop star life and wants to find out exactly who she really is. And who she really is actually affects the arc of another character, and honestly, she's one of the better written characters of Persona 4, I'll be completely honest with you. I love her. She's great. It's an iconic role for her, but not one that she stuck around for. But we'll get to that. Oh, Sam. What else is there to say about Sam Riegel? He played Taniguchi.
What is up? My 444 got my bag.
You might also remember him as the voice of Shiro Emiya in the original Fate Stay Night, which was opposite Liam O'Brien as Archer. And no spoilers, but that's actually a pretty hilarious voiceover booking in hindsight. Sam also does voice direction like crazy, like some weird show called DuckTales, I think? I don't know. I'd never watched it. Sam has one very iconic role in the Persona series, and that is the role of Teddie in every game past the original Persona 4, where he takes over for Dave Wittenberg. He brings a really goofy charm to the mascot character, and he somehow manages to get out a nice faux smoothness in Teddie's human form.
I'm so glad. I was worried that you didn't like me anymore.
Oh man, if you can behave yourself, you'll be pretty cute.
Teddie being a being that resides within the TV world and eventually manages to somehow escape into the real world, they had to get someone that's able to balance that goofiness with a little more seriousness when he tries to, and eventually succeeds in getting a human form. And of course it would be Sam Riegel who voices the incredibly goofy party members that ends up being both a mascot character and husbando bait. Like, come on. Of course it would be Sam.
Much better.
It's no secret that Margaret Persona 4 is my ultimate forever waifu, thank you very much. Now, with that being said, like a lot of characters in the Persona series, especially in Persona 4, Margaret ended up being the subject of a recast, as her original voice actor, Michelle Ann Dunphy, actually quit the business to raise a family, as confirmed in this Between the Sheets clip. Hey, Editor Arthur here. So, this audio was recorded several months ago at this point. And since then, the great BWF purge of Critical Role YouTube content has occurred, so this is the only surviving bit that I was able to find on the internet. So shout out to Diggity Bippity TV, whose clip I will be using here.
That like next week, Valerie Aram hit me up and she was like, "Glad you got this. I actually have something right now that I think you would be perfect for, because we lost one of these actresses, and that was Margaret for Persona.
Oh, did they ever find her?
Wow.
Turns out she got lost.
But
in the
doomed.
This
Oh, yeah.
other actress moved away and
Yep.
decided to change your life direction, as happens in Los
all the
Angeles.
time, right? Yeah.
A complete newcomer, Marisha Ray, took over for her in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I honestly had no idea who she was, so I was actually a little surprised to hear a new voice when watching, I believe, the first Ultimax trailer.
I believe he had been to this place as well. I task you with the acquisition of about 100 of these coins. Now disappear!
I adore Marisha's performance as the best Velvet Room attendant. She brings an elegance and grace, but also a little bit of a mischievousness, and honestly, she can kick anyone's ass. She can kick your ass, she can kick my ass, she can kick the protag's ass, she can kick any ass.
You'll show me your potential. Hone your skills, and come see me again.
Margaret! Great.
Okay, this actually kind of took me a little bit by surprise. See, I knew that Travis voiced Theodore, the only male Velvet Room attendant in Persona 3 Portable and in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, but I actually had no idea that he was also the voice of the series' Big Good, Philemon, in the PSP remake of the original Persona.
This. Are you aware of the many and varied selves you harbor within you?
I personally don't know much about the character. Like any good Persona fan, I don't acknowledge that there are games before Persona 3 FES. But from what I've seen, that was someone's gonna hate me for that one. But from what I've seen, he is certainly one of the Persona characters of all time. Just kidding. I know a bit about him. He seems like a pretty cool guy. I wish he would show up in other Persona games. Maybe Persona 6, who knows. Now, I love Travis as a voiceover artist, especially in the first role which I ever knew he was the voice actor for, and that was Reggie Rowe, who was the brother of protagonist Delsin in Infamous Second Son. Seriously, I love Reggie. He was a really cool big bro.
You do realize when we hit the town, there's a fair chance the town's gonna, hit back?
What does that even mean?
Like, as much as I love Travis, I have never interacted much with Theo in any of the games where he was voiced by Travis, so I don't have that much of a connection there. It's okay, though. I definitely appreciate the little brother Velvet Room attendant.
Rather, I was scouting the area in search of this cola you wished for. It's true. This is my proof. I did not think that this cola would be hidden in such a sturdy metallic box.
Now, as for the main cast, unfortunately, that's where we end. That's right, Taliesin and Ashley have yet to voice characters in the Persona series. Maybe that'll change with Reload? Who knows? I certainly don't at time of recording. Which is definitely the same time as the rest of the video and not 6 months after. Editing. A few honorable mentions as well, because there have been some guests who have also voiced characters in Persona and also played characters in the campaigns proper. Like, for example, the one I've alluded to the most, Ashley Birch of Hey Ash, What You Playin' fame, as well as all of her amazing voice acting work.
I will be ready.
We're playing Bunkers and Badasses, baby!
As well as live action work.
What the fuck are you talking about?
She is the second voice of Rise Kujikawa in Persona 4 Dancing All Night, replacing Laura Bailey for that game.
So, please everyone, I want you to dance with me on stage at the Love Meets Bonds Fest next month.
And of course she also plays Keg during Campaign 2, a character who gets the blame for some unfortunate incidents.
Oh, no!
Wait, can I say wait?
No.
He's in it? It's done?
This is done.
And you also have some other characters such as Darren DePaul.
I'm not going anywhere! Wait, where am I going?
Apparently voicing one of the teachers in Persona 5. I didn't know that one.
Textbooks open to page.
He also played Sprig in Campaign 1.
You're real.
Prove it. Say that you're real to my invisible frog companion.
But that is going to end it here for today. I've already rambled on enough about this topic. I could ramble on forever. In fact, I think I will ramble on about other subjects. But for now, that's where I'm going to stop. So it's crazy how all these voice actors happen to coalesce in one franchise, right? What's your favorite role for each of these characters? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. I love talking to people online. And as always, don't forget to love each other and always remember, memento mori. God, that was dark as hell. Maybe I should end on something much lighter. Here's a Bo Burnham quote. I think that fisting should be called uppercut.